The sun is a hammer, and the land is the anvil. Below, the riverbed is a skeleton of cracked mud and bleached stones, its memory of water fading with every sunrise. For the clan, thirst is no longer a sensation. It is the air they breathe, the dust that coats their tongues. This is the unforgiving theater of prehistoric life, where the line between a good season and the end of a bloodline is as thin as a sliver of flint. They are a small band of Homo sapiens, wanderers in a world that has no name for them, and their survival depends not on the strength of their spears, but on the contents of one woman's skull. Her name is Elora. She sits in the sliver of shade offered by a granite overhang, her body a frail contour of bone and wrinkled skin. Before her, crouched on his heels, is Kale. He is young, his mind sharp as a freshly napped blade, but it is not his mind that matters now. He is here to listen, to receive the world. Elora's mind holds a map not of this valley, but of a continent. It is a living archive of prehistory, a latticework of waterholes, game trails, shelters, and dangers passed down through generations. To understand their next move is an act of cognitive archaeology, an attempt to excavate a living mind for the blueprints of survival etched there over a lifetime. The ridge of broken teeth, she whispers, her voice a dry rustle of leaves. You follow it until the sun sits on the third peak. Her eyes, clouded with cataracts, stare at something Kale cannot see. Then you turn toward the setting sun. There is a tree, a great, twisted tree. She pauses. The thread is lost. A tremor of confusion crosses her face. The tree. It looks like a striking snake. She says the words, but the conviction is gone. It is a memory of a memory. Kale waits, every muscle in his body taut. He does not dare to speak, to break the fragile connection to the past. The silence stretches. It is broken only by the return of two hunters, their shoulders slumped in defeat. They carry no meat, only the grim news that the great herds have vanished, their tracks leading north, into the unknown. The clan watches them, then their gaze shifts back to Elora. She is their compass, their library, their last resort, and she is failing. This moment, unfolding 70 years ago, is a critical turning point in hominid history, a test of whether knowledge can be made to outlive the flesh that holds it. These are not just stories Elora tells. They are survival data for ancient humans, and the data is corrupting. Kay offers her a water skin, his own ration. She takes a small, bird-like sip, her hand trembling as it meets his. It is an intimate gesture of care, a flicker of humanity against the vast, indifferent landscape. But as her eyes meet his, he sees the terror in them. It is the primal fear of a mind coming undone, of a world dissolving into fog. She has guided them through drought and flood, her memory a fortress. Now, the walls are crumbling from within. The weight of all their human ancestors rests on her, and she can no longer bear it. The crucial detail of the hidden spring, the one they desperately need, is an echo in a skull, and the echo is growing faint. The next attempt to follow Elora's directions is a near catastrophe. The two youngest hunters, acting on her fragmented description of the snake minus-like tree, spend a full day chasing a phantom, returning after dark with empty hands and cracked lips, their bodies drained of moisture. The unspoken truth hangs in the thick. Hot air memory half-mindless remembered is more dangerous than no memory at all. It is a lie that leads you into the wasteland with a promise of water. Panicked, cold and sharp, begins to needle at the clown's discipline. They watch Elora, and for the first time, some see not a wise elder, but a liability. The immense pressure of life million years ago is grinding away at the bonds of respect. Kale watches her from across the small encampment. She is humming a tuneless, repetitive sound, her gaze fixed on the patterns the wind makes in the dust. And in that moment, seeing the ephemeral ridges and valleys in the sand, a desperate, revolutionary idea ignites in Kale's mind. It is a leap of pure intelligence against the brute force of their reality. He cannot fix her mind. But what if he can pull the world out of it before it vanishes? He rises, his movements sudden and purposeful. He walks to the flattest, most protected patch of ground within their small shade, and with his bare hands, he begins to smooth the earth. The others watch, confused. He is not preparing a fire pit or a sleeping hula. His work is meticulous, creating a perfect, blank canvas of ochre-colored dust. A woman offers him a piece of cured hide to smooth it further. She does not understand, but she trusts his urgency. This is the essence of their community, a shared faith in the potential of a new idea. When the surface is ready, he goes to Elara. He kneels before her, takes her frail, bird-like hand, and leads her to the cleared space. "Show me." He grunts, his voice low and insistent. He pats the smooth sand. "Show me the river." At first, she seems lost. But then, her gnarled finger extends and touches the surface. A tremor runs through her. Slowly, she draws a long, wavering line in the dust. The Great Mother, she rests, naming the river as it was in her youth, full and strong. Before the memory can fade, Kel grabs a long, bleached stick and lays it carefully in the groove. He then finds a handful of smooth, grey pebbles and places them alongside it. He is not just listening, he is transcribing. He is building the world's first exogram memory stored outside the flesh. An external hard doctor made of dust and bone. It is a monumental step in human evolution. The moment knowledge is freed from the prison of a single, dying brain, others now understand. A younger woman brings a collection of sharp, black flints. Kel takes one and places it where Elara points. "The ridge of broken teeth," he says, his voice filled with a reverence that borders on fear. It matches. The map in her head is materializing in the world. For these early humans, this is a technology more profound than fire. It is the birth of shared, permanent data. They work for hours. A silent, focused collaboration. Their hands moving over the sand, giving physical form to her fading ghosts. But when Kel gestures to a vast, empty quadrant of the sand map, his eyes pleading, and asks, "The stone of thirst, the hidden spring?" Elara's face goes slack. Her eyes empty. She stares at the blanks and as if seeing it for the first time. A stranger in the world she just built. The silence is brittle. It threatens to shatter into 100 shards of despair. The map, a testament to their collective hope, lies incomplete. The most vital piece of this new primitive technology is missing. Elara stares at the blank quadrant of sand, her mind a fortress whose gates have finally rusted shut. The clan's children, too weak to cry, watch with wide, vacant eyes. The sun continues its relentless march across the sky. Indifferent. This is the great filter of ancient history, the moment when a species' ingenuity is pitted against the finality of a dying mind and a dying world. Kel does not move. He stays kneeling before her, his gaze locked on her face. He sees not the broken archive, but the woman who taught him which mushrooms were safe and which held death. The woman whose hand stitched the hide that kept him warm. In an act of pure altruism, he reaches out and gently takes her hand, not to guide it, but to offer comfort. He begins to hum. It is not a song of the hunt or of a journey, but a simple, ancient lullaby she used to sing to the clan's children. A melody that predates words. Another elder, a woman who walked beside Elara since they were girls, joins the sound, her voice a cracked harmony. It is a desperate attempt to bypass the broken pathways of language and logic, to reach the deeper, emotional core of her memory. And for a heartbeat, it works. A flicker of recognition. Elara's breathing deepens. A single, shuddering intake of air. Her eyes shift from the sand map to a small, unique stone Kel had collected earlier, a piece of water minus smoothed quartz. Cool and white. Her lips, dry and cracked, pearled. A single word escapes. A sound like grinding stone. Cold. Her gaze is fixed on the pebble. Then, her other hand, the one not held by Kale, lifts from her lap. It trembles violently, a dying leaf in the wind, with an agonizing slowness that seems to span a generation. Her finger extends and points. It does not point to a direction Oral and mark on their stand-able world. It points directly at the white quartz pebble. Kale understands. It is not a location, but a key, a trigger for the final piece of data. He picks up the cool stone and places it in her palm. Her fingers, with the last ounce of their strength, curl around it. Her eyes close. She is no longer in this sun-minus scorched camp. She is somewhere else, decades in the past. Her hand pressed against a weeping rock face in a hidden canyon. Her voice returns, a whisper that cuts through the silence. The cave tastes of salt. The water weeps from the stone. Her free hand moves, her finger dragging a short, final line on the map, ending in a small, gouged circle. Then, her hand falls. The breath eases out of her body. The final, soft sigh. The knowledge is saved. The librarian is gone. The clans, it's in profound, aching silence. The cost of their survival laid bare in the still form of their matriarch. This complex, symbolic transfer of knowledge, this blending of emotion, memory, and technology, is a hallmark of emerging behavioral modernity. Kale looks down at the map, now complete. The small, gouged circle is not just a mark in the dust, it is a promise. He meets the eyes of the two strongest hunters. No words are needed. Their survival skills now have a destination. They rise as one. Their movements economical and precise. A future now etched in and before them. The hunters will find the spring. The clan will drink. And they will live. They will burn Elara's body with the reverence reserved for a force of nature. Her spirit now as much a part of the landscape as the ridge of broken teeth she helped them name. But what happened here, in this pocket of dust and desperation, is more profound than the survival of one small band of human ancestors. The act of creating that map was a tectonic shift in the landscape of the mind. For the first time, a thought was made permanent. A memory was given a life beyond the soft, perishable tissue of the brain. It became a thing that could be seen, touched, debated, and improved. The map of sticks and stones is the direct ancestor of the written word, the printed book, the silicon chip. It is the first firewall built against the great forgetting. The first victory in the long war against oblivion that defines our species. This impulse to externalize, to share, to build a library of the world outside of our own fragile skulls, is the very foundation of civilization. In their hands, the dust became data. And just as they did, you too can become a chronicler, tracing the shape of our shared story in the sand. Comment with I have seen a map to mark your place by this fire and join the expedition. Their struggle raises an echo that travels across 70,000 years to find us here. Now what essential knowledge do we carry inside us? And what maps are we failing to draw for those who will walk the earth when our own voices are just whispers in the dust? The past is not a foreign country. It is the bedrock on which we stand. What story is written in the bones,